Hi everybody! Ciao a tutti! Welcome to Phantom! Yeah. Oh, how many very nice people this evening. Thank you very much. Andrea Martelli, Tevo Sick, Riccardo Barba, too much Italian Dai Gash. Awesome. So this is an English session, live session for all European and English people, also for Italian guys, of course, for all Italian friends. Lot of friends. Thank you very much. Ma chi sei, Satriani? Who are you, Satriani? No, I am Marco Fantone. Okay, thank you very much. Tonight, I would like to introduce you to the Fractal FM3 tutorial. I know that there are so many owners, FM3 owners, and many people become owners in the next days, so I'm so happy for this. So this session, this tutorial, this live tutorial, this so big difference, is for the owners and for the next owners, and the wisher, it's possible to say wisher, for the people who want to become the FM3 user. Arvid Richter, thank you very much, Arvid. Il tuo suono viene dalle tue mani. Altro che my sounds come from my hands. Maybe yes, I don't know. This is my introduction. Usually I start with my, let's say, intro, but tonight I would like I want to introduce by myself and play by myself. Okay. Gorgeous sound. Saluti from Corriere di Malta. Thank you very much, Carlo Campione. I hope that everything is okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me and see me in a good quality audio and video? So you can follow me on Facebook channel, but I suggest you to use the YouTube channel and Twitch channel. Twitch is new for me, is a new platform. I know that quality, audio and video quality is better than YouTube. Some people say yes, and also I saw that is true, but it doesn't matter. The important thing is to stay on YouTube and Twitch, because you can see the chat of every viewer. I know in Facebook there are some problem to see the messages from the other channels like YouTube and Twitch. So let me check your messages. C'è mio figlio 4 anni che ti ascolta gasatissimo. So thank you very much to Italian friends and for the non-Italian friends. Hamet Sunbul. Oh, I cannot pronounce your name. Sorry, Hamet. Where do you come from, Hamet? Pavel Rekovsky, okay. If I like if you put me your country. It's very nice to me to know where are you from. Thank you very much. So thank you very much also to G66. Okay, not on my heart, but in the opposite. But okay, but is here and also here. So this is important things. So I wanted to start greeting from Portugal, my friend. Thank you very much, Felipe. First of all, I wanted to introduce this tutorial with some important website you have absolutely to know. I wanted to share the screen. The first website to know is the G66 website. Okay, many of you already know, but it's important to understand what can offer the G66 website. Not only the shop, of course, but also the manual tutorial and so on. So let's switch the languages in every language you want. English. Okay. So if you scroll down the website, you find again me on this video. But what is really important is that let's say every week, not all weeks, but many weeks, I put a video, but also the free custom preset designed by me. And also this preset is really nice and really particular to me, because there is not only the preset, but there is also the backing track of the video. So I invite you to download the preset and also to play over the backing track. Okay. For the Italian friends, I also start with not yet, but in February I will start with the FM3 context, and this context I would like to extend in all Europe users. Okay. Santi from Spain. Paco Leone, YouTube su Apple TV, I can see the chat. Okay, with Apple TV, maybe yes, it's not possible to see the chat. But no, I know on Twitch is possible. I checked yesterday. If you press the remote control, you can also alternate the view from the full screen and also to see the chat on the right bar. Let's try to check to install Twitch and use it. But I think that also YouTube is possible to do this. I'm writing from my phone now anyway. Thank you very much. Oops, sorry, there is a... Okay, no, oh, sorry. What's happened? Sorry, I have to close the... Okay, sorry. Ciao Ismaele, Vincenzo, Barbagallo, thank you very much. Bunea Silviu Kalina from Romania, thank you very much. Silviu, maybe Silviu is the name. Okay, Paco Leone Solve, thanks Mark, thank you very much, Paco. That was sick from Broken Bridge, Ponte Rotto, fantastic. So let's start from G66 website, guys. And you can download the free preset, but also you can access to more MF custom preset. So you can download more of my free presets. And also in this preset, the dirty MF dirty, there is also the impulse response offered by Valhalla IR.it. It is a custom, special custom impulse response. It's very nice. So try it, and of course try to use the philosophy behind the creation of my preset. This is really important, and this is what I want to discuss with you this evening. Okay, so there is also the amazing Leon Todd, okay, with the Tuesday tone tips. This very amazing tips that you can use with your very nice FM3 and amazing FM3. Okay, and there is also this news. Read the sound. I'm really proud for this news, because I am, let's say, the father of of this cabinet. This cabinet are special designed for to combine with your fractal modeler, and I will speak in details regarding what is behind the project of these special speakers, full range speakers. Okay, so another important things on the G66 is when you go to the product, for example, our FM3, you have a lot of material to download, and I also suggest to download this material because it's really, really, really important. So there is an overview, of course. It is possible to join the waitlist. Unfortunately, the demands of the FM3 is so huge that the waiting list is still active, but we hope that will be in the stock very, very soon. Okay, So you can find also some other videos, tutorial, and so some features, specifications, and so on. But what is so important is also the videos, but is the download section. Download section is really important, where you can find the last firmware, okay, to update your FM3. Usually, if you use the Fractal bot, you don't need to download the firmware, because Fractal bot is an utility. Okay, you can download here. If you scroll down, Fractal bot, it is a very simple utility that can let you to make the backup of the your unit. You can let to install the updated firmware, and when there is a new firmware and you are connecting the network, a Fractal bot say you there is new firmware, and it's really easy to install it. But at the moment, I don't want to go in deep in this unit, because all FM3 shipped recently are equipped with the last firmware version. Okay. So what is really important? So the firmware and the factory preset. So if you overwrite your the factory preset, or you want to recover your unit, you can download the complete bank of factory presets. So don't worry if you overwrite the factory preset or make some modifications on. You can, in any time, you can recover the initial configuration. So download this one. What is really, really, really absolutely important is the manuals, of course, because the manuals is the base of your knowledge, and everybody has to take the time to go in deep and to go in deep with the manuals. Manual is the base. So, you know, the typical sentence is RTFM, read the fucking manual. So this is absolutely true also with Fractal, because if you don't read the manual, is a nightmare to know the unit. Okay, so let me check your message here. Vincenzo, Paco, Sove, okay, Ismaele, Alessandro. So many users here. Daniele, saluti da Sanremo. Sanremo is still in Italy, but okay. Marco, Leon Tosh is cool too. Yes, absolutely. There is also Simo. Great, Simo. So there is the manuals. The FM3 owners manuals is really important. The Fractal bot, the Fractal audio blocks guide. This is also really important to understand the every block you have in the Fractal. So download also this manual. It's really important. Also important, the Fractal audio footreach function guide that teach you to understand how to use the footreach. Footreach in the FM3 and the FC pedal board are really flexible. There are many possibilities, but you have to understand what you can do, because there are so many possibilities that it's really nice and can let you to do practically everything. I don't find anything any case where is not possible. Every case is possible. This is really important. The Fractal bot manual, of course. The drivers let you to use the FM3 as an audio interface. Only Windows needs to install the drivers, because on Mac OS the FM3 is audio compliance. So you plug the USB cable, and automatically your Mac can see the FM3 as your audio interface, and of course you can use it as it is. And as I told you, the Fractal bot for OS X and for Windows. This utility is absolutely useful. Very simple. It's not so difficult to use. I will, if necessary, I will do a tutorial only for this in future. So another important section is the FM3 edit. This is absolutely necessary if you want to program to program your FM3 unit. But don't forget to understand and to be aware how it's possible to program and to modify FM3 on the onboard interface. This is really important. Now I will show you everything on FM3 edit, but you have to know how to modify some parameters directly on board. Okay, so you have the version for Windows and for Mac OS. Okay, very simple to install. La bestiolina FM3 mi arriva giovedì. Okay, next Thursday FM3 will arrive. Very nice, very nice. Okay, there are the MF, the microphone tone presets, as I told you. There are plenty free preset with the related video, so the challenge is to achieve the same sound and the same playing. So let's work hardly, not so hard for many of you. So you can see how many free presets you can download. Of course, you have the native, the factory preset are also available. But what I like to underline is the philosophy behind my factory preset, because my factory presets are already usable for the live stage, because there are the crunch for the rhythm, there are the lead sound, there is the clean sound, and many more scenes. I will explain you what are scenes. Many of you already know, but for the newer, I will show what is the scenes. And so with a single preset, you can, let's say, cover all your live performance. So, okay. Pavel Rekowski, is FM3 works with with MacBook with the new M1 chip and another software. I can overlay software FM3 in the FRACTAL boot. Also, yes, they are compatible with the new M1 chip. There are no problems. Hi Marco, really nice. FM3 Windows now is a really good tablet and 5G new technology. Okay. Marco, I have discovered that FM3 edit include connected to Exchange platform to find preset. Yes, this is true, absolutely. Andrea, no, it's possible also to connect the editor with a big platform where you can exchange your presets, of course. Okay, so let's continue with the other important website to know. Okay, another important website is sorry, it is okay, I lost the connection of my sorry, let me just a moment. I will recover the connection with the external monitor. Okay, sorry, give me a minute. Okay, I am here again. Okay, another, if you wanted to visit my website, sorry, whether you can find some good informations. Also, if you want to, sorry, to get also other patch and profile from here. Oops. Okay. Here. Okay, you can find other patches, not for free, because I use the impulse responses to realize these patches, and this impulse response are not for free, of course. So I will show you another important, very important website. It is the Wikifractal website. So please put in your preferred website, this Fractal, Wikifractal website, because you can find everything about Fractal. Everything means everything. So also from the old unit, the legacy unit, X8, XFX2, the MFC10, and more and more and more. For example, what is really important, if you want to know what is the amplifier model list, for example, you click on here, and you can find a list of all models in the Fractal. You can see so many models. 283. It is a many. I don't know if in one life cycle of I can check every every model. It's just I think it is really impossible. So, but what is nice is you can click, for example, in the user tool, and there is the history of this amp, specification, details, lot of information. Okay, so please visit this website, because it is really important. For another important, the amp block, you can see also the cabinet. If you want to know, in FM3 there are more than 2,000 cabinets available, and to understand what this cabinet says, and we will see later on, of course, you go to the cabinet model list, and you can see all list of the cabinets. But I want to come back to this page later on, because it's important to understand how to combine, let's say, or to match the cabinets with the amp block. Okay, so let's come back to our important tools, that is the FM3 editor. Okay, very good, Marco. By Marco Twitch. Okay, Palorosian. Okay, you confirm that Twitch works very well. So I know that's the audio and video quality. The audio also is very nice. Okay. So, what is the first step with the FM3 edit is start to try the factory preset. The factory preset start from 0. Okay. So let's show what is this preset. I take my guitar. What is amazing of this unit is every factory preset is really usable. You can do a live with these factory presets. And what is important is to understand how to grab this preset and to create and to combine with a single preset where you can find you can have your preset for your live usage. So please scroll down and try every preset to understand, especially the cabinet block and the amp block, how they are combined to give the desired sound. Okay, so let's come back to this. Is the first factory preset. It is amazing. I like it very much. It's based on the Bass Guy amp. So please have a look. What is important? Have a look on the cabinet block, on the amp block. Sorry. You have the authentic section. The authentic section is the typical dashboard, typical control of the original amp. You have the input drive, you have the bass, middle, treble, presence. That's it. It is the same knobs you can find on this amp. There is also the bright switch, and this is the main important control. Show you larger. Okay, this control input trim is let's say the sensitivity of the input. If you want to increase the sensitivity of the input, you can use, but usually these knobs has to stay at 1. Okay, this is the default value. So let's see only on this control. Okay, you have also other control that you can tweak, but I suggest you, for the beginners, to stay on the authentic control, authentic page. Okay. Grid patch, usually prefer one comp instead of comp one. Paco. Okay. What you have? What we have here in the rig, this is the rig area, is exactly the same that you do in your real world. As I call real world the real world. So the combination of the amp blocks, the cabinets, the effects, delay, and so on and so on. So as you can see, there is the input, the effects before the amp, and the effects after the amp. So cabinets, chorus, flange, and delay, rotary, and reverb, and so on. This sequence is really important to understand why there is this sequence. The reason is the same of the real world, as I told you. So the compressor usually is before, is the first block, because the compressor is useful to compress the signal of your guitar, to avoid the peak, okay, and to increase the low signal. So typically the compressor block is the first block, but of course you can do anything you want. Absolutely, there is no special reason, there is no restrictions to use the blocks as you want. If you achieve your best sound, it's okay. Any solution is okay, but usually the best sound is reachable only to follow some specific rules. Okay, so you can see the compressor is the first block. There is the wah block. There is the drive. There is a bender fuzz. There is the block, the cabinet block, and then there is chorus, flanger, delay, rotary, and reverb, and out. This sequence is really the most important and most used sequence. You tell me why these effects are after the cabinet block and not in between amp and cabinet, as we do in the real world. This is the typical question that many many people tell me. The reason is this, because typically in the real world you use the mono effects and you are not in recording studio. But if you think of the recording studio, nobody put ambient effects in the send return loop. All sound engineer will put the microphone in front of your speaker, then they put the ambient effect, delay, reverb, and so on the desk, on the mixer, no in return. Okay, this is important to understand. I want to show you one of my presets. Let me check this one, for example, because it is really nice to understand why. Okay, as you can see, there is the amp block, the cabinet block, and there is like it is a network where there are the chorus, there is delay, there is reverb, plex delay, and so on. So let's play. Okay, so the ambience effects are amazing because you can hear so huge effects. Let's try what's happening if I put the cabinet after this effect in the same place of the looper. Doesn't matter. I don't use the looper now. Okay, I can delete it. Okay. So did you remember the sound before and now? First of all, the sound is mono, okay, because the cabinet block is mono. I have to use 2 cabinets to split the signal inside the cabinet. I have to use 2 cabinets and pan the cabinet one to extreme left, and the other one on the right. But there is also a problem on the frequency. So the high frequency are cutted because the cabinet itself, it is a filter, and you know, the cabinet cut all high frequency. So it makes no sense to cut the high frequency of the ambience effects who are rich of high frequency, and you can easily hear the difference simply to place the cab block and put before and after your ambient effect. So let's come back to initial. Okay, so if you want to use stereo effects and to get the most of the advantages to using stereo effects, please put all ambient effects after the cabinet blocks. This is the first trick. It's not a trick, it is a rule. I can say it is a rule because it is the same thing that all sound engineers do in recording studio. So nobody will place the ambient effects in the loop effects of your amp. Nobody. You have your amp, you put the microphone, and that's it. So this is the reason this rig combination is the most usable and most efficient to me. Of course, if you like to put the cabinet at the last block, you can do anything you want. So it's so easy to try, and I also recommend you to try because you cannot damage nothing on digital system. The only thing that you have to take care is to back up your preset. Okay, this is the only very important rule: backup, backup, and backup. Okay, after you have backupped your unit, you can do anything without make any damage. You can put the block as you want, no limits. And you have to test it, because sometimes it is like in the same in any in any any how can I say, in any, I don't have the word sorry, but you learn the rule, and also if you want to increase your creativity, you can go out of the rule. So before to be creative, you have to understand the rule. So only in that moment you can go out of the rule. Marco Dell'Acqua, I lost the initial part of this live, so I didn't get what is the volume PAL before the amp. So I will explain. No, I don't yet explain any block of the on the patch. So we can stay. I only check. I only start with the factory preset. It is my recommendation to start for the first one and test them. This is the first one, but don't forget that every preset, you can select the preset here, okay, and so the factory preset appears here, or you can select one by one. Okay, it is really easy to understand the how to use the editor, but what is important in this part, these are the scenes. So any preset has 8 scenes. Scenes is really important to understand. Scenes is, you have this rig, this is the rig or preset, and you can decide which effects goes on or off, and store the status of this rig in a scene. For example, scenes number 1, for example, can have a delay on. To switch on the block, you simply press the bar space, and you can bypass or engage the block. Okay, for example, I want that in scene number 1 the delay is on, so I save this scene, and in scene number 2 the delay is off. Very simple. This means scenes is the status of any block, but not only. Not only, because any block has 4 channels. You can imagine the channels of your amp. Yeah, typically many amps has 2 channels or 3 or 4, depends of the amp. So it is the same here. So any block, but not only the amp, but all blocks have 4 channel drives also, wah, and so on. And any channel is completely independent, and you can select the amp or the effect that you want. For example, amp in scene number 1, the amp block uses the channel A. In scene number 2, for example, I want to use the channel B, and channel B is different, or is the same amp but with different settings. So let's check the knobs status. Okay, you can see the knobs settings changed, but also you can select a different amp. In this case, because the name of this preset is the bass guy and shows all possible settings of the bass guy amp, in this case all channels are referred to this amp, but you can select any amps you want. So in the D channel, for example, I can select one of the 283 amp available. So the limits there are no limits practically. A question from Joy Ramo. I'm totally new to the Axis 3. Can you walk through your setup and basic preset and how to connect the input 1 to output on chain using the shunt? Yes, absolutely, Joy. I will go later on to show how to create a rig starting from 0. But first of all, I wanted to suggest you to check the factory preset, because it's the basic to understand how the unit works. Okay. So, in this case, the scenes number 2 sounds like this. Okay, if I change it to scenes number 1, there is the delay, for example. Let's select the scenes number 3. And you can see the drive is on in this case. It is the bender fuzz. Okay, so I can create also scenes number 4, for example, with the delay, and or I switch off the drive. To switch off, I select the block with the mouse and press the bar space to switch off the delay before the drives. So I can select the delay and chorus. So let's check. Okay, I can store these scenes, save. If I save now, okay, I store this status, these scenes, in the scenes number 4. So when I come back to scenes number 4, the chorus is on and the delay is on also. I can select a new scenes number 5. Okay. I can select a new channel here. I increase the drive. So, switch on the delay. So I can change, for example, the delay channel. I want to use the channel B. It is a stereo delay where I wanted to increase the mix. And this is a different. So you have so many combinations because you have to multiply the 4 status of the amp block by 4 status of the cabinet block by 4 status of the chorus block and 4 status of and so on and so on and so on. So you can imagine how many combinations you can create with only a simple rig like this. It is a serial rig with input, output, and every blocks are in serial. Ciao Nicolas! Welcome, bienvenue. Ciao Nicola. Okay. So let's come back. So in this case, the scenes number 5 use the very high mix delay. Okay, I can save. When I came back in scenes number 2, okay, it's pretty easy to understand the philosophy of the scenes and the channels, and this permits you to combine, to create a huge amount of combinations. Andrea dalla Fina, another broadcast spoken in English. Wonderful, nice stuff. Marco, you rock. Thank you very much, Andrea. Hi, Chatpoon. Hey, Marco. I just wanted to ask, do you ever go to the ideal tab on the amp settings and play with tester volume for those tester volume for those amp which don't have the master volume on the basic tab. Okay, when you go to the ideal tab, chat, you have to be aware what you are doing, because there are let's say, I call special parameters and, let's say, professional parameters. So you have to know what you touch. I wanted to start to create to explain you better this thing is to start from zero, to create a preset, because it is important to, let's say, in this case, you don't have the master, okay? Because in this amp you have not the master. In the ideal tab you have the master here, but the master is the as the 10 as the maximum. So please don't create confusion between master and level. The concepts are completely different. The guitar world, the real world, think that master is the level of your amp. Yes, it's true, because when you wanted to increase the volume, you increase the master. But this is not true, because everybody should know, and this is not true because very few people know this, that when you touch the master, okay, not only the volume increase, but all the physics of the amp change. And this is the problem. So you have to imagine, for example, a Plexi 100 watt without master. To create a distortion with crunch sound with that amp, you have to increase the volume, the master, because you have only the master at the maximum. So, but you cannot stay in front of that amp because the volume is so high that is impossible. But this is the only way to play, to achieve the great sound from this amp. It's clear, because physically the valves, the power amp, and also the speakers creates the perfect combination to our ear. And this is the fact. This is the master, but it's not the level. If you want to tune the volume of your rig, you don't have to touch the master. You have to consider the master like the treble, middle, and the input gain. It is the same control. The master helps you to increase the nature of your amp. So it is a part. In this amp, for example, there is no master, because there is only a single volume, and the master is at the maximum. Is the circuit is made in this way. In other amp, the master there is the master, of course, but don't touch the master if you want to increase the volume. You have to work with a level. Level is a linear effect, so you can increase the volume without modify the characteristics of your amp. This is really important to understand. I hope that I explained. It's true that if you make a short change, removing the empty blocks in between, you save some CPU usage. Absolutely, Marco. Of course, the CPU usage is done by the fact that there are some effects here. So if I, for example, select the rotary, I don't use the rotary. Okay, so I click on the right button, mouse button, place a shunt. Let's check what happens on the CPU usage. Okay, and the value, the amount of percentage that is reduced by the blocks depends on the blocks itself, because, for example, volume block is pretty nothing. There are some effects. Plex delay, for example, reach a lot of CPU percentage. Okay, for example, if I don't use the flange, okay, place a shunt on the flange. Let's check what's happened on the CPU. Okay, 8%, sorry. So you have to understand how to optimize, because you can do anything you want, but you have the limit of the CPU. Okay, so to save the CPU, you can design your rig with the logic. You cannot mix any kind of effects inside. Makes no sense. So, ok, I want to show you. Alla prossima volta in italiano. Luca, ci sono tanti tutorial in italiano, so there are many Italian tutorials. So this, today I wanted to speak in English for our English and not, let's say, not Italian friends. Not only English, of course, because there are many people from many parts of the Europe and of the world, of course, but you can find on my YouTube channel a lot of Italian tutorial, of course. So sometimes I want to help our non-Italian friends. Okay. So little love from Fractal for bass player. Okay. I wish there were much more amps and effects for us. Still picking my FM3 in February. It's too good for skip. Simon Boyko, if I'm correct. You can find on the G66 website also a preset I create especially for bass, where there are 4 scenes designed for bass. So please check the video, check the preset, because they are, for me, it is the same preset that I use to create my backing track with the bass, and for me is amazing. Hi everybody, Tommy Gas. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I told you to select the preset. For example, the Brit 800 is a typical GCM 800 preset. Let's check. This is nice. And you have to imagine that it's a factory preset, nothing to. You have to remember, for example, the amp block status and the cabinet block. So this preset use the 4x12 March, CB, Lean, and so on. So I wanted to explain what is this cabinet. This is really important. So I suggest you to navigate in the factory preset and try one by one. For the brown sound, for example, is okay, so enjoying yourself the factory preset. Let's start with the empty preset and let's create a preset from an empty rig like this. Let's call it test 1. This is the name. How can create? This is the grid, okay, where you can place your block. There are 2 ways to place the blocks. One is to select one element of the grids and click on the right mouse button, and this menu will show you how many the blocks. Or you can select the quick build, and you have a table where you can select all blocks available. For example, the amp block is where is it? I don't use so much this table. I have to confess you. So I'm not so useful to use this. The amp block and the cabinet block. You drag and drop the blocks on the grid matrix. Very easy. So the other important element is the input 1 or input 2. You can also use input 2. And the output 1. Okay? Input 1 is the first left block, and output 1 is the last right blocks, usually. But you can do what you want, of course. So, if I play, nothing happens because I have to virtually connect the blocks themselves. So, to make, you have 2 possibilities, or to create the shunt shunt is you have to click on the right mouse button and select the shunt and connect the output of this block to this one, or very easily, I suggest you, when you have to create a long shunt, select the output of this block. Okay, you have these possibilities, and also you can connect directly to the output, and magically you create a single long shunt. So, and the guitar start to play. Amazing! The sound is okay. So, let's check what is the amp and the cabinets. So, select this one. So the Brit Brown, okay, the software remember what is the last preset and recall the preset. So the Brit Brown is practically the brown sound of the typical Van Halen amp. And the cabinet is, okay, it is the first available, the default cabinet is the 1 by 4 inches Pig 57. It is a really small cabinet, so the sound is, but it's still nice. It is incredible. So let's stay this Brit Brown because it's really nice amp, but we have to change the cabinets. How to change the cabinet? We click on the cabinet block and select the picker. When select the picker, you have a huge amount of cabinets, so much. How can I select the proper cabinet to match? It's I have to select how many? 2048 cabinets. It is a mission. Too difficult, but you have to think logically. This is the secret. Typically with the high gain amp like this, the combination is to use the 4x12 amp. So when you click on the picker, this window appears. You can select the cabinets. You can pin up these windows, because if I select this one, the windows disappear, and this is so difficult. So when you have to select the cabinets, I suggest you to let open the windows and to pin these windows, clicking on here, pin windows open. So you can select the cabinet without the windows closed. So then, what is the typical cabinet that you match with this amp? Typically is a 4x12. So press 4x12 on the search bar, and you have only the cabinets that start with 4x12. Okay? So it is important also to understand what is the meaning of the name of the cabinets, because the first number is the typology of the cabinet: 4x12, 4x10, 2x12, 1x12, and so on. So this is easy to understand. Okay. Then there is a name like this, 1978, for example. This depends of the company that create the cabinets. As I told you before, on the Wiki Fractal, you can have an overview of the cabinets models. So please, let's take the time to read the cabinet manufacturer to understand. For example, 1970A is quite easy. It is a Marshall 1970A cabinet, for example. Okay, 300 watts. The 5153 is the typical PV cabinets. The angle is the name of the angle angle, angel is a typical name of the angle. For example, AX, GB AX is the manufacturer of the cabinet. GB is the greenback cabinet. So, for example, I like so much the greenback, and I wanted to select the first one. What is this number? Is pretty easy to understand. It is the microphone, because the cabinet in the digital world is not only the cabinet itself. This is very important. There are many factors that create the cabinet. The typology of the cabinet, how many speakers, the cabinet itself, the wood used for the cabinets. There are so many variants, but there is also the speakers, okay, that can be Celestion Vintage 30 or Greenback or Jensen or Eminence or many brands. Then there is the microphone, SM57, Sennheiser E601 or MD 421, the Royer 121. So many microphone, and the microphone influence a lot the voice of the cabinet, okay? But not only. What is really important is the positions of the microphone in front of the speaker. Different position, different voice. This is really important. And in the digital you can touch yourself what means to change a bit of the position of the microphone. The voice change completely, and the best sound, to achieve the best sound is to match the proper cabinet with the proper microphone, with the proper position with the amp. It's not only to select the amp. In the real world, usually the guitar players, they say, "Oh, let's take this amp is amazing," and plug into the first cabinet that they found in the shop. But every cabinet has its specific curve, its specific response. Is completely different. So it's, and you understand, in the digital world, you understand it's most important selecting the cabinet than the amp sometimes. So let's take care about the selection of the cabinets. Let's check some questions. So little love from, okay. Yeah, watched your videos from Bas, Marco, great Warwick on your have there. Thank you very much. Same on Boico. Ecco, yeah, okay. Luigi Bacchini. Marco, going back to volume and level, find it difficult to balance this value, including the cabin level, to avoid these system clips. I actually have X8, but I believe it's similar thing. Yes, absolutely. I go to this this part later on, Luigi. Paco Leone, do you create patches with two amps in parallel, and how do you choose which amps to pair? Yes, sometimes I do this, but you can do this, Paco, only on AXFX3. And now we are speaking about FM3, and FM3 has only one amp. So I will create, if you want, I will create a new tutorial, and we can discuss about the XFX3 and using the extended blocks on XFX3. I will take care of this. Thank you very much, Paco. Okay, ciao Bruno. Okay, let's proceed. So select these cabinets. So let's try to select a different cabinet. For example, this one, the angle, it is the same microphone, 657, but a different cabinet. Completely different. So you can hear yourself how big difference is when I select different cabinets. Okay, so But what is the secret to combine the cabinets with the amp is to think in the same way of the real world. So with this amp, let's select the Brit. It is easy amp. The Brit 800. It is a typical GCM 800 amp. So with this amp, I like, for example, the Greenback cabinet. Okay, I select again 4x12. For example, this PV 5150 is not so good. Let's try this one. This is perfect for me. Because this is perfect to me, I can mark this cabinet with a color. To mark the color, you can press the right mouse button and select the color. So your preferred cabinet you can mark with a different color, and so you can filter all cabinet by color. For example, all the orange one, or all the red one, or the green one, or none. So this is a very easy way to navigate between the cabinet list. Okay, so let's try not only this cabinet, because it is in the A position. There is also the B, C, and so on. What is the difference? It is the difference could be the position of the microphone or the cabinet, the speaker on the cabinet, because it's different to mic the upper right speaker, or the upper left, or the lower right, or lower left. The sound is different. Okay, so the A, B, C, D is the variant of the cabinets. Okay, this is darker than the B. And please notice that this is the same cabinet with different microphone positions. How many times do you take care of the position of the microphone in the real world? How many times? Maybe the 5% of the guitar player take care of this. 5, 6. And you can understand what is the difference. You can have the very expensive amp, very expensive cavity, but really cheap microphone in the very bad position. So you compromise completely the sound of your amp. But why this occurs? Because the guitar player listens your amp only in front of the cabinet. Doesn't listen the amp microphone on the PA system. And this is the problem. So the digital modeler are very good to understand the influence or many parameters that are into the sounds. Not only the amp, not only the cabinet, but the microphone. Microphone is really important because microphone has its voice, and the position is really important. So the sounds of the SM57 is completely different, for example, of the sound of the Royer. I can select, for example, this one is the this one is the Royer microphone. It is a ribbon microphone. It's completely different. Let's check. It's completely different, but the cabinet is the same. The position is the same, but the microphone is different. And the perfect way to understand what is the correct, the proper microphone and the proper position is to understand the real world, because in the real world you do the same. The sound engineering know very well that the response of the SM57, it is the high response. The response of the ribbon microphone is the dark microphone, and sometimes he combines this microphone to give the perfect frequency balance. So nothing new for the sound engineering, but completely new for the guitar player, because guitar players usually don't take care about the microphone. Okay, Marco, how do you overcome option parallels with so many caps option? As I told you, Simon, I think in the same way of the real world. I like, for example, the SM57. I select the SM65. I check the different position. If the sound is too bright to me, I can put in parallel the Royer microphone. It's the same, let's say, trick that the sound engineer use. How can do this? For example, very easy. I select. I show you. This is the sound, the voice of SM57. This is the voice, for example, of the Beyerdynamic 160 microphone. It's darker. So what I do typically, I select in the first cabinet the GB57A. Then in the second cabinet you can combine two cabinets together. 4x12. I combine this cabinet with this one. It is the ribbon microphone, so it is the sound is darker. I unmute this cabinet. Okay, but this is not for the digital world. It is a typical rules that the sound engineering do in the recording studio. Okay, so what is amazing with this system is that you can recreate the same situation of the recording studio. Okay, so it is nice if I put a reverb to make some ambience. So typically the reverb is the last block. Reverb 1. It is a room ambient. If I wanted to have a larger ambient, I can select, for example, the medium play. We have 52 different reverb. You have a reverb like this, for example. This is amazing. It is a pad that's create a very huge. And you can appreciate a lot also the fact that there is no confusion in the effects. You can play over the reverb but without to create confusion. This is really amazing things. So, but let's come back to reverb like medium plate. It's like you can increase the time. So the controls in the settings of this effect is typical that you can find in every kind of reverb. Let's decrease the mix. One important thing is on the cabinet to cut the bass. I suggest you to go in the preamp section of the cabinet and to increase the low cut to the 100 and 110, 120. This is important to avoid to put the guitar sound on the low frequency, that is undesirable frequency from the sound engineering. This is really important. Otherwise, your sound engineering on the live stage cut absolutely. But you have to learn that is necessary to understand that the guitar has to let's say limited in the frequency. The high frequencies maybe not so much, but in the low frequency is important. To do this, you have to cut the cabinet here. So maybe it's nice if but these bass frequencies are not usable in the real world. So don't use it, and cut this frequency to. Okay, this is the only control that I recommend you to set. You can also clean also the preamp and other, but you have to understand that it's necessary to cut the bass frequency to avoid that the guitar are in the lower frequency where there is the bass player and other instruments. Amazing. Hi Marco, with 2 cabinets you need to have a stereo output? No, absolutely. You have if the cabinets are in the pen pot is in the middle, the sounds is the same on the left and right channel. If you do this, it's different. And this is nice because you can create an image. I suggest you a trick. If you double click on the below the knobs here, the control come back to the default position. So you can select this one and double click, and the knobs come back to the original position. So okay, you can hear yourself what is the difference to set the cabinets in the center position or pan pot 2 cabinet. So there is the image of the sounds is splitted in the left and right. I suggest you to don't set extremely these controls, but use a regulation like this settings like this. Okay, so about the regulation, the settings of the amp, what you want. If you want to increase the drives, the treble, middle, so someone of you chat ask me about the master and the level. Master, I can change the value of the master and you can listen what's happened. The volume decrease, but not only the sounds change. And there is a limit where you increase the master volume, but only the distortion increase. This is because it is the same. When you set your GCM 800, the master to 2, 3, 4, okay, the volume increase, but after 5, not the volume doesn't increase only a little bit, but increase the distortion. It is the power amp distortion. It's different from the input, the preamp distortion. Okay, this is the reason that you have to. The master is a part of the settings of the amps. If you want to select if you wanted to tweak the volume of this rig, you have to touch the level control, not the master. So please, typically use let the master as it is. Typically, it's not necessary to because the master is in the proper position for that kind of amp. And how to set up the level, this value. So it's very easy. Go to the output block. You have the VU meters here. Okay. And the VU meters have to work in this area. Sometimes in the red area, but not so much. So with these settings, you can avoid any clips or any over distortion, digital distortion. Very easy. Okay, ciao Marco. Marco Cereda here on Twitch, like this case where air low cut should the alloy is set as 20, and is it possible to save this and have any error starting already with under 20 instead of to change it all the time? Not Marco. Don't. The default parameters start from every time from 0, but you have many way to create your template, and starting from your template is quite easy. So I cannot go so in deep because for the time reason, otherwise I need 5 hours to explain every part. But you can save, for example, simply you can save this preset as your template preset, and you can start from this to have typically I have my basic preset, my template preset, and I have that cabinet with that amp and that settings. So quite easy. Che Mac hai, di quale anno? My Mac is my Mac from the, I don't know, 20 is iMac 27 from 2017. Understood, thank you. Here's to myself, thank you very much. Marco Laco, yes, if you have shorter rig, you can save CPU. Okay, so let's proceed and let's continue to create this rig. Okay. So, for example, I wanted to have scenes number 2 as the crunch scenes. Scene number 1 is the lead one, for example. So I call this lead. Save. If I want to have these scenes all, even in the scenes number 2, I can select this one and copy current scenes to scenes number 2. This is an easy way to copy the scenes to the other one and create a new one. So let's go to the scenes number 2. Okay, so lead, sorry, save scene number 2, and I call these scenes. My standard is to have the scene number 2 as a crunch, but of course you can do what you want. Okay, and I want to have the scene number 3 as the clean sounds, for example. So I copy these scenes to scenes number 3, and I call this as clean. Okay, so lead, scene number 1, crunch, scene number 2, and clean. So starting from clean, how can I create a clean sound? Of course, I have to change the amp block, and I have to select a new channel. So I switch to channel B and select a clean channel, a clean amp, let's say. So click on this field, and I can select many different channels. For example, if I want a typical Fender Twin amp, I have to select, for example, double verb normal. I decrease the input drive, switch the bright, I like to increase the input drive. So save these scenes, and what is important is to balance the clean sound with the crunch sound. So let's check if the clean sound status is okay. Maybe it's a bit high, so I go back to the amp block and decrease the level. Save. Let's come back to the output. It's still too high, so decrease to a bit more. 14. Okay. And typically the clean sound has more output, because it's typically necessary also to put a compressor in front of as the beginning. This compressor is too hard. I select, for example, my favorite is an optical one. Okay. I use the compressor to limit the peak of the signal of the guitar. And as you can see, I can have a more homogeneous volume without avoid the peak, and to stay in the proper output level. So I can use also the delay. Let's add a delay, for example. Where are delay, CD, delay, okay, delay 1. Okay, switch on. Because I'm playing stereo, I select, for example, analog stereo delay. I can increase the mixer. To emphasize the stereo effects, I suggest you to decrease the left-to-right time ratio, for example, to 95%. And so there is a separation between the left and right channel. Okay, I saved the clean channel. So let's come back to the crunch. Let's check it. Okay, so nice, I save it, and now I created the lead channel. How can I create the lead channel? Switch off the compressor first of all. Okay, switch off the delay. You can have different possibilities to create the lead channel. I like, for example, to do the same in the real world. I put a drive in front of before the amp block, the typical TS808 drive, to increase the gain and also the mid-range. What is amazing of Fractal is any block you insert has already have the perfect value. You have to tweak a bit, but as you can see, I don't touch so much the settings of the blocks, because they sound amazing with the default values. This typically. So with the drive in front of the amp, I can increase the gain, but not the volume. To increase the volume, usually I use this this way. I put here a volume block, but you can put, for example, an EQ block as you want. EQ could be nice. EQ block, for example, where I increase the level of let's say 2.4, 2.6 decibel. Okay. Why it's convenient to use the EQ? Because you can also change some frequency if you want. Yeah, this is fantastic. So this is really nice. It is the same that many guitar players do with, for example, the typical foot pedal in the send return to boost the sound. And it is necessary. It is after the amp block to increase the volume. You cannot use before. This is really important. So I can add a delay. Delay is too much for me, so I can select a new one, B channel, digital, for example, but digital stereo. Okay, do the same with the ratio. And I save the scene. So let's go to the scenes number 2 and check if the blocks are okay, so I can save. And let's check also the scenes number 3, the blocks are okay. Perfect. I can add a chorus here. Sometimes you have to check if some blocks are on in a different scene. When you add a new block, check all the other scenes if this block is not on, is switched on. So switch off and save it. Okay, if I want to add a volume, I like to use the volume after the compressor. You can also use the volume at the end of the rig, but I prefer to use in this position, but it is my favorite position. You can do what you want. I put the volume block and I can control this volume with the pedal. How can do this? Very easy. I go to the volume knobs, click on the right mouse button and select the source of this volume. You have the different possibilities. Check on the pedal 1 because I have a pedal connected to the pedal 1. Select it and check if it works. Okay, I can show. Okay, you can see my foot that move the pedal 1. I have the other pedals on the pedal 2, and I show you how is it possible to do. Okay. So you can see these yellow balls that moves, and if I close these windows, I can see the knobs moves. Okay, and also I can add the wah block. So select the wah block. Okay, and to set the wah, it is the same. So I assign the control to the pedal 2 in this case. Here, pedal 2. And also is important to select the auto engage. Auto engage lets you to switch on the wah block only when you move the pedal. Okay, so select one of the options possible. Med speed is okay in most of the case. So I can check. Okay, the pedal works here, and also you can check when I move the pedal. I show. You can see my foot that move the pedal, and also the pedal block switch on automatically. So save this one. Okay, select scenes number 2. It is okay. I still have the volume, and the wah is still in function. And okay, to switch on the compressor on the and the chorus. I don't know why they are off. Okay, now it is important to understand how to now connect the scenes to the foot switch. This is important. Okay, so I show. Okay, my FM3. I zoom. It's not so clear, but I want to assign the scenes number 1 to the foot switch 1, the scenes number 2 to the scenes number 2, and the scene number 3 to the foot switch 3. How can I do this? Let's come back to the editor and go to the FC controller. Okay, let's reset because it's already assigned, but we assume that we start from a blank layout. This is the okay. we will go in deep what is the layout, but the main layout is this one. You have possibility to have 8 different layouts. That means 8 different configuration of the foot switch. Please read the manual of the foot switch to understand how does it work. It's quite complex, not complex, but there are so many possibilities that is not easy to explain in 5 minutes, of course. So, but let's assume that you have an empty configuration like this one. So it's really simple. We have to select the FM3 edit here, okay, and you have the 3-foot switch I have here. So select the category. In this case, the scenes category. Function is select or toggle or increment decrement, but select is okay for me. And select number 1. So you can see here also the name of the scenes automatically. I can do the same here. Select scenes. Okay, in this case I have to select scene number 2. And scene number 3 is already selected here. But I can also, for example, with the press and all the functionality so this means that I can press the clean button and keep pressed for a while to have a different function, like for example the tuner. So I go to the utility and select the tuner. Is already selected. And I also I can change the color if I want. So I want the green color as I want. So let's come back here. I show both. So let's check what's happened on the editor when I switch the foot switch. Oh, the problem is the volume is... So this means that on clean... Okay, the volume is still off. This is true. Okay, I have to switch on the volume. Sorry. Okay, and save these scenes. Okay, now it doesn't sound. I'll show you larger so you can see what's happened. It's okay. For example, if I need scenes only with a clean dry channel, I can select this one, copy to the scene number 4. I call clean dry, and I switch off the chorus and delay. Let's check. Save it. And I can select these scenes with the foot switch. For example, I can use the same foot switch of the crunch. I use the hold functionality. Scenes number 4. Okay. So when I go to the crunch and I press and hold the crunch, so I wanted to create a scenes number 5 with the clean. So copy this scene to scenes number 5. I call this as a clean drive, DRV. And I want to select these scenes. Oh, sorry, I make a mess. I selected the layout, sorry. It's late, and I'm tired. Okay, I wanted to copy these scenes, sorry, to the scenes number 5. Okay, I call, so this is clean dry, sorry, and this is clean drive as I want. So I want to switch on the drive. But I want a different drive, for example. Because I don't want this, I want a new drive. I select, in this case, the B channel, and I select, for example, the fast boost. I can switch off the comp. Okay, I can decrease the drive, increase the tone. I like it. Yeah. And to select these scenes, I wanted to use the foot switch number 1 with press and hold functions. Scenes number 5. Yes, clean drive is selected. Okay. So I touch some, to me, basic argue, and I want to see your questions. So, Robin, FM3 is already, let's check. What is your live, Pavel, for example, what is your live setup with FM3? Are you plug FM3 on the front of the amp? No, I don't use amp. I use the Red Sound speaker is a backline, and I go directly to the console. Makes no sense to use. I don't use any amp since 2016. I stopped to use tube amp since I started to use the digital modeler. To me, makes no sense to use the amp, because it is a big disadvantage to use the amps, because if you use the amps, you have to use the cabinet of the amp ATA, and you lose all the performance, all the advantages of using the impulse response, the cabinets modeling. And this I show you what means to select different cabinets and so on. If you have your cabinets, you have also to put the microphone, and you come back to the same problem of the analog world. So this is the reason, and I know in the beginning it's not easy to switch the mind to the FR, the full range sound. But this is the sound that everybody listen of your sound. Your sound, the sound of your cabinets, your amp. Only you. This is the problem. Only you can listen that sound. This is the big problem. And for you it is amazing, but it depends which microphone you put in front of the cabinet, and if the sound engineer can handle your sound in the proper way, and so on and so on. So to avoid so big variants, I suggest you to learn how to set up your sound. To put since 5 years, my setup is FM3 or Fractal. I use X8. I go from the output left and right to the console, left and right, and that's it. This is my sound. I use my cabinets, the full range cabinet, the Red Sound MF10 behind me, but only to have the pressure of the sound, so the punch. Okay, but it is only my feeling. It's only to me, not for the people that are listening me. Okay. Hi Marco, for the lead sound, are you pushing more volume 3 dB? No, not more than 3 dB, because otherwise there is no balance between the clean and between the rhythm and lead sound. I must do the question in English, as you prefer. No, you can use Francesco. You can use also Italian, and I will translate for the people. I would love to know how to create the best clean tone. What are the best amp for the clean tone, and how do you go about getting a nice thick full-bodied clean tone? Thank you, and great job. Thank you, Branco. And the best clean tone is what depends of what is your best clean tone. Everybody has his own tastes, and I can show. I showed the clean from the Fender clean. Typically, this is nice. I like the Shiva clean. Shiva clean is very nice to me, and also the custom audio preamp clean sound. I can show you, for example, one of my presets. Okay. This one. Okay. Sorry, but it's still pedal wise on pedal 2. I have to modify some, and also I have to switch off this one. Okay, sorry, just a moment that I have to modify. Okay, and also the volume has to be on pedal 1 is okay. Pedal 1, and the Y is on pedal 2. Y. Okay. No, I have to create again the volume. Sorry. Volume on pedal 1. Okay, there is. Okay. For this dispatch, the clean is here. I use the Shiva clean, for example. but depends of you. Let's start from my free preset and check what I use with the clean clan channel. Okay. It seems to respect the guitar sound very much. I mean, strato remain strato, Les Paul remain Les Paul. Not all models have this quality. Absolutely. Now the new technology, Paco, is so evolved that the sounds is strongly depend of your guitar, dynamic, and the under fingers feedback is really nice. Absolutely. So you can see, for example, if I select a high gain sound, okay, I tweak the volume pedal. So, okay. You record it directly to computer via USB or through audio interface. Typically, I use the audio interface because I have a FM3, I have a XFX3, I have many devices to connect. And when I go to the live stage, I don't want to make confusion with the cables because I have to uncable the monitors and so on. So I prefer to use my audio card and connect all of my devices. Buona serata. Okay, it's an Italian question. Okay, thanks Paco. Mackie CR4 monitors who makes more noise. PS, I'm Italian. I don't know. Absolutely, I absolutely don't know this question. Sorry. Will a Mission SP a KRS pedal works on the FM3? I don't know. I don't know because depends of the circuit inside of this pedal. The circuit has to be the TSR plug and technology. That means the tip and then sleeve, the ring and the sleeve. Maybe yes, but I'm not sure. You have to ask to the mission engineering if the pedal can work. Danilo Raciti, ciao Danilo. Okay, let me check if there are other questions. I would love to know how to create. Okay, must do the questioning. Okay. 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 Well, the question is finished, I think. But if you add, what is the best speaker for MFM3? You show at the beginning your new columns. Can you tell me more about it? Yes, Pavel. I go to the website of G66. I can show directly. Just a moment. Sorry. Let me take two different cabinets. So this is the first one. The cabinet comes from Red Sound, made in Italy. Okay, you can see here that this speaker is an 8-inch speaker. It is a special speaker. It's a full range speaker because there is a woofer, 8-inch, and there is a coaxial drive. So in the center of the woofer there is also a drive that practically give you the high frequency. This speaker you can use also as a mini PA. You can use the acoustic guitar, you can play backing tracks and music and so on. But the technology of the coaxial drive lets you to have the typical sounds of the guitar cabinet with a very focused mid-range, because the problem of the full range speaker is you have the tweeter is not in the same axis of the woofer, tweeter and the woofer, and the mid-range is the interpolation of the woofers, of the bass sound of the woofer and the tweeter. You know, the sounds of the guitar is in the mid-range and you have not the mid-range. This technology let you to have the full range response, but to very let's say very lot of pressure sorry, on the mid-range. So the feeling is the same of the guitar cabinet. So you have 180 watt powerful, so yeah, enough power, even if it is really light. It could be about 8 kilo, 9 kilo, not more. So it's light. So this is the bass reflex. It is a, you can put in the stand or in angle position. Okay, and behind you have simply two inputs. Okay, because this is the power amp is stereo. If you want to use in mono, you have to use only the left channel, and you tweak the volume. If you want to use in stereo mode, you put the stereo input and you have the power output here, so you can drive the passive version of this cabinet. So you have, in a simple way, with the same cabinet, you have the mono and stereo system. This is absolutely amazing, and this is available on G66 website. Okay, I show you. We in the waiting list. Here, new Red Sound or Alice MF10. This is the Alice. The MF10 is a little bit bigger because there's the speaker is 10-inch speaker, so a bit power more. You have the active, the passive, and the stereo bundle. And I am the father of this cabinet because I have the idea to create it, and the Red Sound realized the cabinets. So I'm really proud of this cabinet. Very, very nice. This video is very informative. Thank you very much. Very well explained. I understood everything, and even though I don't have the FM3 yet, I feel I can operate with. I want to show this message because it's very nice. I feel I can operate with it, the basic function already. Thank you very much. I hope I received the FM3 of January, end of January beginning. Thank you very much, Avid. Your comment is very nice. And also I believe that you will be satisfied absolutely as many user of FM3. Hello from Singapore. Wow. Thank you very much, Chaos SG. Thank you so much. Pavel, is okay for you? Do you need further information? But I will realize a video about these speakers because it's very soon will be available. Now you have to join the wait list because the Red Sound are producing this cabinet, but soon will be available. Thank you for this live and answer for my question. On Tuesday I will have my unit and have fun. Oh, very nice, Pavel. So I hope that this video helps you, and try to check on my YouTube channel. There are more videos in English also, and also I recommend you to see the Italian videos because you can activate the automatic translation subtitles. So there is also a tutorial on my YouTube channel that can teach you how to set up YouTube to make the automatic translations. Okay. So, Ruben Rossi by Argentina, good info. Thank you very much, Ruben. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to put a like, to follow me on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, many parts. And if you like this tutorial, I can continue to realize this tutorial in English because I know there are many European users, and maybe could be interesting to go in deep of the knowledge of the FM3. And don't forget to download the free preset. Awesome. Thank you, Pavel. Thank you, Marco. You're the best. Thank you very much. Chat Poon. Thank you very much, Chat. Where do you come from, Chat? Maybe, I don't know. And I can... I can play something. I can say. From Melbourne, Australia, original from Nepal. Wow. Worldwide. Thank you very much, chat. Very nice. Nice to meet you guys. I'm really proud to have you here in this tutorial. Really proud. So, I wanted to thank you very much for your attention. And if you have a further question, put the questions below to the videos. I will answer you. You can contact me on Facebook on my official page. Sorry, the focus doesn't work. From Florida, Eric Hines. Thank you very much, Eric. Sorry for my English, Eric. Okay, sorry. I hope that you understand me and the concepts are clear. So you can follow me on the YouTube channel, on Twitch, on Facebook, and of course you can put your questions below the video. So I want to say you ciao in Italy and playing a song like this one. This song is Telestar. So thank you very much for your attention, guys. In Italy is night. It is midnight, almost midnight. So Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Nice time with you. Pavel, your English is good. Don't worry and make more video in English. Okay, for sure. All the best from Poland. Thank you, Pavel. Okay, Max Studio. Hello, Marco. A big, huge from big hug. I don't remember what's hug. Okay, abbraccio. In Italian is abbraccio. Sorry, I don't remember the right pronounce. From Big with us. We represent Fractal Audio in Brazil, and you're always inspire us. A great job. Thank you very much, Max Studio. Thank you very much. So, thank you so much, and see you next time. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me for the next video. And put your impression and your comments below the video, because I need of this. Thank you very much. So I let you with my last outro. Okay, and good night from Marco Fanton. Thank you so much.